Peace trumps war. Former President Donald Trump has offered to negotiate peace between Ukraine and Russia. In this article from Business Insider, reporter Cheryl Teh, fake news reporter, is a typical example of the sort of reporting that a news story like this gets. It's not for her excellence in journalism that I want to focus on her story. It's in fact the opposite. She does no independent research. She simply waits to see what the conventional wisdom is of other reporters. Now, it's been mentioned to me that why should we bother to mediate peace at all? According to all Western news outlets, Russia is suffering setbacks and losses. Putin is ready to surrender at any given moment. This has, in fact, been the standard news media reporting template over the Ukraine war since late February. Well, I would certainly love Russia to surrender and stop the fighting. But in the absence of Russia surrendering, perhaps as long as there is at least one life to save and one nuclear reactor that doesn't go critical, then perhaps mediation is a good idea. Let's read on. Former President Donald Trump suggested on Wednesday that he could lead a team to broker peace between Ukraine and Russia. Trump referenced the unprecedented leaks in the Nord Stream pipelines while offering ideas on what he could contribute to the situation. In his first post, Trump claimed the pipeline had been sabotaged. This is the first lie by Business Insider reporter Cheryl Teh. This is not a Trump claim. She knows it's not a Trump claim. This is a complete lie. According to experts in Europe, the Nord Stream suffered damage to 3 offshore gas pipelines. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that 3 separate leaks in a pipeline is not an accident. That's sabotage. So this reporter's assumption that Trump is making some wild and crazy claim, because that's what reporters do about Trump, is not substantiated by the facts. The former president wrote that U.S. leadership should remain cool, calm, and dry, meaning keeping the powder dry, on the sabotage of the Nord Stream pipelines. This is a big event that should not entail a big solution, at least not yet. Trump also repeated his claim that the Ukraine war would never have happened if he had been president. So let's go to Truth Social and actually see his precise quote. TruthSocial.com, Donald J. Trump, September 28, 2022. Be strategic, be smart, brilliant. Get a negotiated deal done now. Both sides need and want it. The entire world is at stake. I will head up group, and of course Trump, he's the only world leader who would give triple question marks. I will head up group. So that's his offer to help negotiate, to help mediate peace. Does the Biden administration even seek a negotiator? But that's a separate topic that the article does not explore. Let's continue. A representative at Trump's post-presidential press office did not immediately respond to Insider's request for comment. Well, why didn't the Business Insider go to the Biden administration and ask them for a comment? Trump's suggestion that he head up a team to de-escalate tensions with Russia stands in stark contrast to some statements he made in the early days of the Ukraine war. Trump's saber-rattling came after he commended Russian President Vladimir Putin for the latter's actions in relation to Ukraine. In February, Trump lauded Putin's justification for invading Ukraine as savvy and genius. This is a lie. This is a lie that, if you look at the news headlines, was repeated all over the American news media. This was a deliberately crafted lie by almost every American news outlet in order to help Joe Biden, to make Joe Biden, whose foolishness led to this war, to make Joe Biden look more presidential. Let's go to the actual quote and see if Donald Trump was in fact praising Putin's invasion.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen and I said, this is genius. Putin declares a big portion of Ukraine. Putin declares it as independent. Oh, that's wonderful. So Putin is now saying it's independent, a large section of Ukraine. I said, how smart is that? And he's going to go in and be a peacekeeper. That's the strongest peace force. We could use that on our southern border. That's the strongest peace force I've ever seen. There were more army tanks than I've ever seen. They're going to keep peace all right. No, but think of it. Here's a guy who's very savvy. I know him very well. Very, very well. By the way, this never would have happened with us. Had I been in office, not even thinkable. This would never have happened. But here's a guy that says, I'm going to declare a big portion of Ukraine independent. He used the word independent. And we're going to go out and we're going to go in and we're going to help keep peace. You got to say that's pretty savvy. And you know what the response was from Biden? There was no response.
This reporter, Cheryl Teh, is lying. She's lying because she didn't bother to research what Trump actually said in his interview. Later that month, Trump called Putin smart for supposedly playing President Joe Biden like a drum. Trump's comments were not the first time he has called for Russia and Ukraine to figure out a solution. Well, why shouldn't they? Isn't peace better than war? It is unclear how effective Trump would be as a negotiator, but he is known to have had significant ties with Russia. Now, this is a blatant falsehood. Donald Trump had no business dealings at all with Russia. And in fact, it's been revealed through the Durham investigation that Hillary Clinton, chief of staff, and now Joe Biden, national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, helped push the Russian collusion narrative, and he was rewarded for this with a senior position in the Biden administration, ostensibly representing our country and negotiating with Russia during this Ukraine war. This article closes with a paragraph on Robert Mueller's Russian collusion investigation, which found no evidence of any collusion at all between Donald Trump and Russia. Let's consider for a moment the motive here of Business Insider, the editor of Business Insider, and the unprofessional attitude of Business Insider reporter Cheryl Teh. If Donald Trump, who did not go to war with Russia and did not cause a war with Russia, if Donald Trump has the slightest possibility of being a mediator for peace, isn't it worth trying that avenue? Why is it more important to mock the former president, to make fun of him and impugn his motives? Why isn't Cheryl Teh more concerned with the civilian dead of Ukraine, which will continue unabated as long as this war continues unabated? We don't have any diplomats in the Biden administration who seem eager for a peaceful resolution. And in fact, we have a precedent with past American presidents, former American presidents, being deployed to seek peace. As you can see here, Europe is facing massive fuel shortages as a cold winter is looming. Why is it important to continue the war? The Biden administration won't say. If former presidents like Bill Clinton and George W. Bush can be called on as mediators to be sent to find peace in various conflicts, then why can't President Joe Biden ask former President Barack Obama and former President Donald Trump, two diametrically opposed political opponents, but speaking with one voice to reach peace between Russia and Ukraine? If peace is the goal, then Business Insider and reporters working at Business Insider like Cheryl Teh should be all for the quest for peace. Peace should trump war, shouldn't it? Thank you.